to do this, I have to subtract x squared on both sides. 5x squared minus x squared gives us 4x squared minus 1 equals 0. Then I'm going to add 1 to both sides. 4x squared equals 1. Divide everything by 4. X squared equals 1/4. Take the square root of both sides. X is equal to positive negative. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. So positive negative 1/2. And then on your own, I want you to do the evens. And I will post what the answer should be there as well. I will go over number 8 though. So here, in order to get rid of the whole fraction, remember we can do that by multiplying by the reciprocal on both sides. So that makes this part fully cancel out and we get x squared is equal to, now remember 48 is like saying over 1. So if we did look at this, we could do 48 times 4. So 48 times 4 is 192. Divide that by 3 and we get 64. Take the square root of both sides. X is equal to positive negative 8. Remember when dealing with fractions, if you're not sure, your calculator can do the fraction part for you. So use your calculator when you need to. So all of these are our real rational number solutions. So that means they can all be written as a number or as a fraction. Now we're going to look at a few more of these. Okay, so these are our vertex form ones. So in order to solve these, what's being squared has to be isolated. So that is everything inside that parentheses. So this one is already ready to go. So we can take the square root of both sides. Get x minus 1 equals positive negative 3. Now, add 1 to both sides. We have x is equal to 1 plus or minus 3. Whenever we have numbers that we can combine, we have to. So that would like to say 1 plus 3 gives us 4, and 1 minus 3 gives us negative 2. So our solution here is negative 2, 4. For number 10, if you want to work that one on your own, you would get the solution x is equal to negative 7, 4. Okay, for number 11, in order to isolate our x squared term, so we have to get this whole parentheses by itself. So we're going to have to move that negative 1. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So we're going to have x plus 5 squared equals 4. Take the square root of both sides. X plus 5 equals positive negative 2. Subtract 5 on both sides. X equals negative 5 plus or minus 2. Do both cases, so negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. Negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7. So our solutions is x is equal to negative 7, negative 3. The solutions to number 12. Oopsie daisies, I lied. The answers to number 10 are not those. That is the answer to number 12. The answers to number 10 is negative 6, 2. That is my bad. Mix those up. All right. Now, our next section is going to be the ones where we have irrational solutions. So these are going to be ones where we're left with a radical. So when it says irrational solutions, you are going to be left with radical in your answer. So if we look at number 13, so we still have to isolate our x squared term. So we're going to move the 3 to both sides. X squared equals 3. Take the square root of both sides. X is equal to positive negative square root 3. There's nothing we can do to simplify that. That is all we have to do. Okay, now we're going to look at number 15. Same thing, we're trying to isolate what's being squared, so just our x squared term. So to do that, we need to add 126 to both sides. We get 2x squared is equal to 126. Divide both sides by 2. We get x squared equals half of 126 is 63. Take the square root of both sides. Now, we can simplify that. So 63 is divisible by 9. which is a perfect square. So we're going to get x is equal to, this right here, we can do the square root of 9 times the square root of 7, which gives us 3 root 7. And don't forget your positive and negative. Number 17, okay, for this one, we add 16 to both sides. We get x squared equals 75. Take the square root of both sides. X is equal to, we can break that down to 25 times 2. So we get 5 root 2 as part of our solution. And that is our answer, but do not forget your positive negatives. So for your even problems, if you would like to do those on your own for extra practice, I'll give you your solutions. It should be x is equal to positive negative 2 root 2. For 16, you should get x is equal to positive negative root 10. For number 18, you should get x is equal to positive negative 6 root 2. Now, the rest of these that we're going to do are going to have complex or imaginary solutions. So let's go ahead and work a few of these out. So we're going to go through all the odds. And again, if you want to do the evens for extra practice, please do that. So again, I've got to isolate x squared, okay? When it says you are going to have imaginary, that means you're going to have an I in your answer. So in order to do that, we're going to subtract 81 on both sides. So we get x squared equals negative 81. Take the square root of both sides. We get x is equal to, we can break that into the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 81. We get I times 9, which we can write as positive negative 9I as our solution. I'll go ahead and give you all the answer for number 20. It is x is equal to positive negative 2I. Okay, for number 21, we are going to start by isolating x squared. So we're going to subtract 15 on both sides. We get 4x squared is equal to negative 24. Divide both sides by 4. X squared is equal to negative 6. Take the square root of both sides. There is nothing I can do to simplify the square root of negative 6, but we can take out the negative. So we get I root 6. So x is equal to positive negative I root 6. Number 23. We already have what's being squared isolated, so we're going to start by taking the square root of both sides. We get x plus 2 is equal to, when we take the square root of that, we get square root of negative 1 times the square root of 81, which is going to give us 9i. Don't forget your positive negative. Subtract 2 on both sides. X is equal to negative 2 plus or minus 9i. Number 25. This is almost isolated, but here we have that negative in front. So let's go ahead and divide everything by negative 1. So we get x plus 4 squared is equal to negative 75. Divide both, or take the square root of both sides, not divide. We get x plus 4 is equal to, this is going to be the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 25 times the square root of 3, which gives us positive negative 5i root 3. Subtract 4 on both sides. We get x is equal to negative 4 plus or minus 5i root 3. Okay, for number 27, okay, we have to isolate this. So remember, in order to get rid of a whole fraction, you can multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/2 would be 2 over 1. So we multiply this side by negative 2 over 1. We know this is also over 1. So that gets rid of this fraction here, and we get x minus 7 squared is equal to 27 times negative 2 is negative 54, all divided by 1, which doesn't really change anything, so it'll just be negative 54. Take the square root of both sides. X minus 7 is equal to, that we can rewrite as the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 9 times the square root of 6, which gives us positive negative 3i root 6. Add 7 to both sides. X is equal to 7 plus or minus 3i root 6, and that is our answer. So I'm going to give you the last of these answers here if you would like to work these. X is equal to positive negative 2I root 3. Number 24, x is equal to 6 plus or minus 4I root 2. 26, x is equal to 1 plus or minus 2I root 7. Number 28, x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus 8I root 2. So tomorrow we're going to do a few more of these practice problems and make sure we've got it. All right. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day.